Now I give the floor to Kelder from the Netherlands Parliament, the Tweede Kamer, and she will present the Dutch House new website. How did we go about to achieve this, and what are the new features? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I realize my title may have been a bit optimistic because we haven't actually finished the project yet, so we haven't achieved it, but then again. My name is Tessa Kelder and I'm a Senior Communications Advisor and Team Leader at the Department of Communications of the Dutch House of Representatives. 2 years ago, at the Parliaments of the Net seminar in The Hague, my colleague Rick Driessen gave a presentation on our project Parley's Content to the Web and the building of the API that we would use to get all our parliamentary information accessible to the general public via our corporate website. Some of you were actually probably there to hear him speak. Today, I would like to give you an update of this project and the current status of the new corporate website, which, as I just said, hasn't been completed yet, to share some of the challenges and opportunities that we encountered with you. I'm not going to go into all stages of the project in detail. I'm focusing on areas that I expect are interesting to you in this group, as well as addressing issues that we encountered and which were sometimes difficult to tackle or which led to significant delay in some cases. The project started in the autumn of 2009. Yes, that's about 3 years ago. And the aim of the project was and is to make all information from the Parliamentary Information System, known as Parlys, accessible to the general public via our corporate website. The Parlys system itself was launched in September 2008 and contains all parliamentary information. It is a workflow and document management system. It includes, amongst others, agendas for plenary and committee sessions, bills, amendments, motions, letters, questions and answers. Approximately 60,000 new documents are added to this system each year. So this project is quite a challenge. How do you present all this information, which is quite specialized, in such a way that the general public will find it helpful and accessible? We started working with a leading web design bureau and an internal project team working on developing wireframes as a start to the functional design. This took about 5 months. During this stage, we also developed personas, fictional people who represent various target groups that we have for our website. This helped us look at the website from the point of view of our customers and to keep them in mind at all times. And this slide, I don't know how much you can see of it, shows one of the wireframes to give you an idea of how these look. This one is for the new homepage of the website. And as you can see, it is, as it were, a very first and a very rough draft of a new site. No color, no look and feel, but simply plain functionalities. The wireframes form the basis for the next stage, developing the visual design for the website. During this process, we worked again with a leading web design firm in the Netherlands called Fabriek. They came up with 2 versions, both based on the website as it was then and as it is in fact still now. The next slides show one of these 2 options, and they came up with this in about June 2010. Fabriek continued the strong aspects that we already have in our current website. There's a lot of white space. It's a neutral presentation of information, and they simply refreshed or updated the existing style. The idea then was that Fabriek would take our comments, juggle them up a bit, combine the good things from both concepts, and then come to one new design. We would then give the go-ahead, and the technical parties would start their work on implementing this, working on the API, etc. However, things went differently. During 2009 and 2010, we as Communications Department had also been working on a new, or rather a updated or modernized house style for the Dutch House of Representatives. In that project, we had been focusing on our offline material, for instance, office stationery, call cards, brochures, that sort of thing. But we now realize that we should also implement this new house style for our online activities. This meant that we would have to redesign the visual design for the new website. You can imagine that this would lead to some delay. The Parlis content project was put on hold while Fabrique developed a spin-off of the new house style, which led to a new look and feel for the website. It may seem like a small thing, but when you are redesigning your web presence, you want to do it well, obviously. So you would take time to study the new concepts, mull over them a while, discuss them, ask the designer to go back to the drawing table and start that process again, and possibly again. So by the fall of 2010, we had a complete new set of new designs for our website. The next slides show the first versions of the new look and feel of the homepage. Lots of focus on our live streams, as you can see, and on the parliamentary information. And the next one is for a personal page for an MP. The project could continue now. Fabrique is also our partner for developing the HTML for the site, so that's what they started on next. In January 2011, we were able to start work on a usability test. This test took place early in March, and the main question of this test was which potential difficulties does a user have or encounter when visiting our website. We used a click dummy for the test, which was filled with real data from Parlis. A small group of people representing our target groups were given tasks to perform on the click dummy, and while they were at it, their actions, both successful and unsuccessful, responses and comments were put on video. This is highly useful, and if you've never done it, I can really recommend it. It gives an amazing insight into the way people view a website and go about finding the information they need. It is also amazing, and I sometimes find it mind-boggling to see, time and again, how things that looked extremely simple in concept turn out not to work at all on a live site. So, as usual, in my experience, the test showed quite a few things that we could still work on to improve the site, ranging from fairly small issues to bigger ones that required some rethinking. The result of the test, we had to go back to the drawing board to make adjustments. So, now it almost becomes an exercise in spot the differences, I can tell you. Let me help you. The left-hand navigation menu has changed, and we found during the test that the search engine that we use, or the way that we wanted to use it, didn't work at all in the test, so we had to make adjustments to that. In the meantime, we also had the HTML tested for accessibility by people with disabilities. Our current website has a special logo to show it is accessible to everyone, regardless of disabilities, and we certainly want to keep that. Fortunately, this turned out to be okay, so hardly anything needed to be worked on because of this test. Now, for the technical side of things, and here I'm getting out of my depth as I'm no technician, so I barely understand these things myself. We started building an API, application programming interface, if you don't know the abbreviation, sometime in 2010, and that's what the talk that my colleague gave 2 years ago was mainly about. This API will be used to transfer the information from our Parlis database to our website. With an open API, which is what we envision, your data can be used by third-party applications, by widgets, by social networks, and last but not least, by mobile apps for the iPhone, the iPad, or Android devices. We will use it first and foremost for our own website, and if that works according to our standards, the information will then also be made available to third parties. Actually, last week, our Presidium formally agreed to this finally. When the API was almost finished in spring 2011, we found that that the information that it was receiving from Parlis was in fact too much, and also that the process of getting the real-life data out of Parlis to the API, the Parlis system itself, slowed down considerably. There was a big effect on Parlis's performance. So this was considered a big problem, and basically the entire API needed to be rebuilt to tackle this issue. That led to a delay because it was so complicated. It lasted from April 2011 until January 2012. So, in January, sorry. The work on the project started again, and our technical partners have been working since then to implement all the changes. And this resulted in a product about 2 weeks ago. We were all set to start testing the website, but sadly we found that it had too many errors for us to be able to test it. So we've had to return it to our external parties. We now hope to get a testable site next week. Our current planning is then to have a test period of roughly 6 weeks, and we want to go live on September the 1st, which is about 2 weeks before our general election in the Netherlands. So we still have an exciting and challenging time ahead of us, and I would now like to show you some of the new screens. And with my thanks to the technicians here, this will hopefully work. Let me see. This is going to be the homepage. Oh dear. That should do it. I'm hoping that. Yeah, there we go. No, don't want that. This is the new homepage. This is all information that is coming from the Parlis database. So there's going to be lots and lots of documents behind this. Let me go back and see a committee page. On all committees you will be able to see the next few meetings, but then you go into all the documents that belong to the committee. 17. This is an overview of all bills that are currently in the Parliament. You can see whether they are in the Parliament, whether they're going to be voted about soon, or whether they have been dealt with either because they have been agreed to and become law, or they have to go back to the ministry. And I'd just like to show you the. And this is a feature that we are very happy about. Right now, our voting results on the website is basically one PDF document, which it's very hard to read. So we're hoping this will be much better. When you click on the results, you can actually see how people voted in the House. So which member voted for a specific topic, which member voted against. And this is something that we've had lots of questions about before. So as I said, live date is the 1st of September 2012. Between September and December, we will also increase the number of live streams on our website from 4 meeting halls right now to 11 in December, we hope. And in October, we will also launch our renewed online debate archive. So we have quite a few projects going on at the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tessa. And there are questions for Tessa about their impressive future website. No questions